I have some lovely coaching questions for you. So grab a pen, piece of paper, put your feet up, and I'll just go with it. So these are liberating, or potentially liberating. And as a body confidence expert and coach, I love working with questions because they open up windows of possibility and potential. It's when we stop asking questions and we take things for granted that so often, life becomes sort of, is this all there is? But once you start really tapping into those powerful questions that help you to access your inner wisdom, oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. And sometimes you just get those answers to maybe things you've been struggling with or thinking about for a long time, and they just come to you. So look, even if you've never done this before, just see what your answers are to these questions. So here it is. The main question is, and you might want to write this down, what's it like to be me when? And then it's ... So what's it like to be me when? And these are the questions. What's it like to be me when I'm not afraid? Oh, wow. Yeah. What would you be like if you weren't afraid? What's it like to be me when I'm not telling myself that there is something wrong with me? Oh, big one. That's one that I resonate with so strongly. From my past, always telling myself there was something wrong with me. Always. Now it's too big, not good enough, not clever enough, not bright enough, not whatever it is enough, not thin enough. So what's it like to be you when you stop telling yourself that there's something wrong with you? Okay, another one. Okay, enjoying this. What's it like to be me when I stop telling myself that I should have done more? Oh, again, what's that like? What could it be like? What might it be like? What do you imagine that might be like when you stop telling yourself that you should have done more? What's there? What might be there? Be brave, write it down. What's it like to be me when? Oh, I love this one. When I see myself through the eyes of love. What's it like to be me when I see myself through the eyes of love? Yeah, imagine that. Imagine what might be different for you if you saw yourself through the eyes of love. That's a game changer. That type of question is often the questions that I teach and I coach on when I'm training in my body confidence coaching certification course, when I'm teaching my students. It's all about that lovely connection with self. And then you look at yourself in different ways. You look at yourself through the eyes of love. You look at yourself through the eyes of compassion, of kindness. If you find love too strong a word, you might want to substitute that for what's it like to be me when I see myself through the eyes of kindness, softness, gentleness. Powerful. Another one coming up. What's it like to be me when I'm willing to be even more of who I really am? Yeah. What's it like to be you when you are willing to be more of who you really are? So often we kind of, we diminish ourselves. We put ourselves into compartments, boxes, stereotypes. We limit, we dull our light, we stop shining for many reasons. Part of that reason is that part of the human condition is that we want to belong. And so often we feel that, if we don't fit into what somebody else wants us to do, then we won't belong. We will be cast out. We won't be liked anymore. We won't be loved. But, belonging to ourselves is the first thing. It's that sense of belonging to who we are first. And then you call in those people around you who also belong to themselves first. And you come together in this beautiful community of people who are okay being who they are and being part of a wider community or group without that pressure to conform or to dull their own light because It might make somebody else feel uncomfortable. So powerful questions. And yes, two more. What's it like to be me when? Very simple. I accept myself. Acceptance. What's it like to be me when I accept myself? So for me, that was huge because I did not accept myself. I was forever wanting to change myself. And so accepting myself brought up all kinds of things for me personally. It was, in the beginning, it was very much like, what if I accept myself, I'll give up. I won't bother trying anymore. I won't make an effort anymore. And of course, the reverse of that is true. When we accept ourselves, we have ourselves. And when we have ourselves, we know ourselves more. And then we can make those really positive, loving changes that come from a place of not trying to be like everybody else, not trying to conform to what anybody else wants. But we can actually look at ourselves and say, what do I want? What is it to accept myself? What is it to be more of myself? What is it to look after myself and accept where I need to nourish myself more, where I need to be kinder? So those changes that happen when we accept ourselves are some of the most beautiful and powerful changes that we can make. And they are born from the inside out. They are created not from an external, I have to do this in order to become different. They come from, I am okay already as I am. And I seek to nourish myself more by, and whatever that by is. Maybe it's food, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's work. Maybe it's creating something in your life that you've put on the back burner for a long time. So lovely question. Yeah. What's it like to be you when you accept yourself completely? Not shutting all of the stuff that you don't like about you away, but bringing it in. This is me. This has been a part of me. And this is where I'm going with this. So, last question. What's it like to be me when I move from fear towards love? Yeah, that's the transition, isn't it? That's the ultimate change. When we move from fear towards love, when we stop being so afraid, when we stop worrying, when we stop having that anxiety, when we stop thinking about the future and creating the worst possible case scenarios, which is something I was extremely good at doing. And then, of course, you're living them on some level. And then, of course, you're waiting for them to happen on some level. And then when they don't happen, and they usually don't happen, you've kind of gone through all of that for no reason at all. So what is it like to be you when you move from fear to love? So for me, it's been a journey and still is a journey of kindness, of acceptance, of not trying to change other people, of letting them be who they are, of understanding that what they think, what they believe is entirely to do with them. And it doesn't have anything to do with me. And that fear, I think, for me as well, it was that sense of trust. I'm exactly where I need to be right now. That was the kind of thought. I'm exactly where I need to be, even if where I was really uncomfortable or really challenging or really hurtful. And then it's never about what happens to us. It's always about what we do with what happens to us that counts. It's how we use it. It's what we choose to do after. So that fear to love, still working on it. Because sometimes things come up that do make me feel really fearful. Sometimes when I listen to the news, I hold my breath and my head starts to spin outwards with all kinds of awful possibilities. And then I have to quietly and lovingly and gently bring myself back home into my body. And I have to breathe deeply. And I have to come back. And I have to choose that loving thought. And I have to choose to live in that. Not always easy, but it's possibly the greatest inner work I think any of us will ever do. So I hope you enjoyed those questions. You can write about them, think about them, ponder about them, dance them, create something with them, paint them, but just allow them to be questions. And allow the answers to come to you and for you. They may not come immediately. You may find that the answers to the questions that you ask come sometimes in the most unexpected ways. You might pick up a book and open the page, and there is your answer written in the page, and you'll know it. Why? Because you'll feel it. You'll feel some kind of, aha moment or resonance, or it will make you stop and it'll make you read it again. And you go, oh my goodness, that touched me. Sometimes it might be in a conversation that somebody says, somebody will say a word or two and you'll pick up on it and you'll go, why does that resonate with me? There's something there. And it may be an answer coming to you from one of your questions. So hope you enjoyed that. If you want to connect more, do pop along to my website, astridlonghurst.com. Or if you'd like to train as a certified body confidence and wellbeing coach, pop along as well to instituteforbodyconfidencecoaching.com. Or you can buy my book, Romancing Your Body, at Amazon. So look forward to hearing from you, seeing you, meeting you, or just connecting with you in some way. And until then, have a beautiful day being you. Lots and lots of love. Bye-bye now. Bye.